What's up, guys? We have another week of prep going down. We are a little bit under 7 weeks out right now. We're like 7 weeks and like 5 or 6 days. No, 6 weeks and like 5 or 6 days. So basically 7 weeks out right now. And everything's going good. You know, we got same old for pre-workout, some rice, chicken, kimchi, avocado, and then in here we have our apples, which I toss in a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of stevia, give it just a little sweeter taste. But yeah, there's not much changing. That's the thing with prep. You kind of just you stay course as usual. You keep things the same. You only adjust when you need to, when progress stalls. If weight stalls or you're not losing fat, you increase cardio, you increase steps, you decrease food. You do one of those things, typically not all at the same time. You don't want to pull a ton of levers at once and exhaust all of your resources and options early. You want to use your options kind of smartly and slowly so that you don't run out of options too early. Like, for example, when we started losing fat, if we just dropped my food immediately, super low in this prep, we'd be kind of screwed because you can only pull so much food. If you pull too much food, all of a sudden we start losing muscle and stuff. I mean, fat, but also muscle and a whole bunch of other problems. Same thing like with cardio. If we just bumped up cardio way too early, then I'm doing like an hour of cardio a day, and that's just going to fatigue my body, and therefore, again, like kind of wear us out. We're not going to lose fat as well. The body's going to get all inflamed. We're going to get fatigued. We're not going to get as much out of our workouts. Just going to cause a lot of problems. Similar steps. Steps is a little bit easier. You just do steps. They're not super fatiguing. They help burn calories. But the problem with steps is, with steps, you can only do so much because you only have so much time in the day. I mean, you can't just walk all day. It would be great, especially if this was your full-time job. Maybe you could. But, I got a day job. I got to be in an office for 8 to 9 hours a day. Makes getting steps sometimes a little more difficult. I do it over my lunch break. I got a walking pad. I get some steps in the morning, as you saw at the beginning of this video. So I do what I can, but you don't use so much. So if you exhaust all those levers, you're screwed. So the point is, things have been consistent. We're doing the same old. I haven't really changed anything. Like, calories are still the same, about just under 2,200 on our training day, a little bit over, I think, 1,900 on my rest days. So that's where we're at for calories. That stayed the same. We're still doing 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week, so an hour total of cardio, and 10,000 steps a day. And we're still losing weight. And as we're getting closer to the show, given that we're only like 7-ish weeks out, we're getting pretty close. So as we get closer to the show, being 7 weeks out, we don't want to keep our same rate of loss. Earlier on in prep, we were going for 2 pounds off a week, like pretty quick rate of loss, a lot of fat loss pretty quickly. Now the goal is only like a pound a week to kind of keep it slow, pump the brakes a little bit, and make sure we're not pulling off too much. And we want to make sure food stays at a recoverable volume. And as you get lower in body fat, your energy levels and everything will get a bit tougher. As you saw, I may or may not have cut it out of the video. We'll see. But I lost my train of thought like 2 or 3 times there, just trying to figure out, talking about our slowing down our rate of loss. So I'm already experienced the brain fog and stuff from prep. Prep brain, as some people call it. I'm getting that. I'm getting the low energy. Body fat's getting lower. So that's why we're slowing down the rate of loss. Because if we keep rate of loss really high, well, our body fat is getting pretty low. Inevitably, some of that loss isn't just going to be body fat anymore. It's going to start pulling away at muscle. So as you get leaner, you got to slow down your rate of loss. It's just natural. It's just what'll happen. Bro, as I was finishing up my food, my last bite of my apple, I bit down and bit the inside of my lip so hard. Oh, that shit fucking hurts, dude. Hate it when that happens. Now I'm gonna get like a big ass canker sore on my lip. I'm probably gonna bite it multiple times so it's gonna swell up and will fucking get in my way and I'll bite it a lot more. Let me know if you've dealt with the same shit. It's the worst. Anyways, we gotta get our intra carbs going. We're still running intra carbs, which kind of surprised me. I'm happy with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. The intra carbs definitely, like, I think they just help with my like overall performance in the gym, like long term. I usually have pretty long workouts, 1.5 to 2 hours. So like not crazy long, not like a marathon long workout, but like long enough. And just this little bit of extra carbs, I feel like helps me keep my energy levels up, especially given that like food is getting lower as we're in prep. Like, I'm definitely in a decent deficit. I've been in a decent deficit for a long time now. And sure, most of my carbs are pre and post training. I had about 50 grams of carbs in my pre-workout from Well, more than that. I had 50 from rice and then some more from, I don't know, maybe like 40 grams of carbs. I don't know. It was probably about 40 grams. I get about 40 grams of carbs, I think. So then this is nice to just get a little extra, keep the energy up, and keep me going. Oh, but what I was saying is like I'm kind of surprised we still have the intra carbs, and like I said, I'm grateful for it. But I'm surprised because obviously it's carbs. Carbs are calories, carbohydrates. Let's see. I do about 30 grams. This is saying a scoop, which is 26.6 grams. I do 30 grams, so a little more than that. So it says 100 calories for the 30 grams. I think mine's like 111 calories or something like that. Usually, my advice to people, my personal advice, is when you're trying to diet, limit any liquid calories like sodas, even protein shakes, unless you absolutely need it to get your protein in. Also, let's do a scoop and a half, a scoop and 3/4. I need the energy today, all right? We'll be all right. I usually say limit your liquid calories because it's really easy to just drink your calories and then it's not very filling. Like you don't feel full. So substitute with high volume foods like vegetables and stuff where you can eat a lot of them for not many calories. It's a good trick for if you're trying to diet and lose weight. But right now I'm doing the carbs for the performance aspect and they're built into my plan, so it's still fine. But if you don't need intra workout carbs or you don't like them or whatever, don't use them so then you can maybe have a couple more carbs pre and post workout. But if you have longer workouts, I do think there's a benefit to it. It helps you make sure that you're not losing energy mid workout because sometimes I do like crash mid workout, especially back when I used to not use an intro workout. Like I didn't understand intro workout carbs. I didn't get the premise of it, so I wouldn't have like any carbohydrates mid workout. I've been doing these kind of like hour and a half to 2 hour long workouts for a while now, so by about that like hour and 15, hour 30, hour 40 mark, if it's really pushing along, like it's close to a 2 hour workout, I'll lose some energy towards the end and then my sets will kind of suck. Whereas now with the extra carbs, I just slowly sip on this throughout the workout and it keeps those energy a little bit higher. Because I'm staying fueled throughout the workout. So I don't really get that huge crash. That's my personal experience, my personal anecdote. Do with it as you will. But that said, let's get this pre-workout in us and let's get on the road to the gym, shall we? You want to listen to me drink this pre-workout? Hopefully that didn't sound too nasty. Anyways, let's get on our way to the gym. All right, so we are on the way to the gym. We got a push day today. So, we have a little bit of chest, some tries, a little bit of shoulders. Can't complain. I love a good push day. Chest is a lagging muscle group for me, so we need some work in that area, some development in them pecs. So that's why I love a chest day. I mean, sure, it might not be my like strongest muscle group, and it's like my biggest, probably lagging muscle out of everything. But I love hitting it because I know that I need to improve it. So I like being able to really lock in on that muscle and doing everything I can to, feel it, connect with it, really get those good contractions, a good stretch, and like make sure I'm working the muscle. Sometimes I feel like on my stronger muscles, I don't really have to think about it as much because they just genetically are um stronger, I guess. Like my arms, for example, are a strong point on my physique. So if I curl a dumbbell, I'm gonna grow a fucking bicep. It's pretty easy for me to grow some arms. Same with shoulders have been a decent strong point on my physique as well. And I think kind of that boils down to my triceps and shoulders in general are a stronger point on my physique, which means when it comes to pressing, I've never been able to connect with my chest on most of my pressing movements because my triceps and shoulders just take over. So now I've been really enjoying like breaking down the movement in my head and really focusing on that mind muscle connection and really trying to get a good pump while I'm doing my chest movements. And some people say like the pump doesn't matter for muscle growth, but I think it is a good indicator. It's a good gauge. It shows that you're connecting with the muscle. Like if it's getting pumped, you're at least hitting the right muscle because blood's getting to the area. So like it's a good gauge of knowing you're hitting it right. It might not necessarily mean like bigger pump, more muscle growth, but I think pump is a good indicator that you're at least hitting the muscle properly, if that makes sense. So that's what's on the menu today. Oh, one more thing before we get into the workout, one random thing I forgot to mention. It was just kind of crazy and I wanted to mention it. On my way home from work today, I was pulling into my apartment complex, and some motherfucker comes screaming around the corner. I was going straight. He was turning around this corner, so I had the right of way. He comes screaming around, damn near full on, like, runs into me almost. Not entirely. I slammed on my brakes. He hit his brakes. We avoided disaster, but yeah, I was like, what the fuck? We just sat there and stared at each other for a little bit, and he looked at me like dumbfounded, almost as if I was in the wrong. He was probably just in shock. So, no harm, no foul. I get it. So I didn't like flip out. I didn't like give him I didn't go ooh or like honk or anything. I was just like, whatever, man. Like, shit happens. People make mistakes. Maybe he was in a rush. Maybe he works the night shift at a job or something. Like, his job doesn't start till 6 and he was running late. Who knows? Give him the benefit of the doubt. But it was scary for sure. Got the heart rate up. But just thought I'd share that. It was crazy. But it also goes to show, like, hey, you never know what's going on in other people's lives. So it definitely, like, he should have stopped and like checked both ways, make sure no one was coming. So we could. It was a completely avoidable. Sorry, my phone fell. It was a completely avoidable situation, but we all make mistakes. So you gotta live and you learn, and you gotta forgive and forget. Like, he made a mistake. I'm not gonna get mad about it. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. It's not gonna benefit anyone. No one got hurt. We didn't get in a crash. It's all good. And you know what? Even if we did get in like a little fender bender, as long as nobody gets hurt at the end of the day, it ain't the end of the world. You'll get through it. You'll work it out. No need to get mad. It's a stressful scenario for everyone. So try to keep a level head, and just try to be chill. Easier said than done for sure. I definitely crash out sometimes, especially driving. I've been known to crash out when there's slow drivers in front of me or some shit like that. But all we can ever do is try to be better, right? Try to be better than you were the day before. It's the same thing with bodybuilding. Your goal is to be better, like a better look, bring a better look on stage than you had the year prior or your last show. Just always be improving. Always strive for improvement, whether it's, physically in your physique, whether it's mentally, like knowledge, or just like things like that. Trying to be better about, controlling emotion, controlling anger, controlling lash outs, things like that. Just always strive to be a little bit better than you were the day before. Anyways, with that little rant and philosophical thing out of the way, let's get into this training.
Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell your scent for miles. Just like animals, like animals, moles. Baby, so what you trying to do to me? It's like we can't stop, we're enemies, but we get along when I'm inside you. Yeah, you're like a drug that's killing me. I cut you out entirely, but I get so high when I'm inside you. Yeah, you can start over, you can run free, you can find other fish in the sea. You can pretend it's meant to be, but you can't stay away from me. I can still hear you making that sound, taking me down, rolling on the ground. You can pretend that it was me, but no. So if I run, it's not enough. You're still in my head, forever stuck. So you can do what you wanna do, yeah. I love your lies, I'll eat them up, but don't deny the animal that comes alive when I'm inside you. Yeah, you can start over, you can run free, you can find other fish in the sea. You can pretend it's meant to be, but you can't stay away from me. I can still hear you making that sound, that beast inside, side by side. Yeah, yeah. No, girl, don't lie, lie. You can't deny, that beast inside, side by side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like animals, like animals, moles.
Oh yeah, we just got back from the gym, and I am not shitting you. You know how on the way to the gym I was kind of ranting and I talked about when I was coming home from work, I entered my apartment complex. And someone like almost ran into me. So again, I was going straight. They were at like the T. So like there's a road that comes here, it stops, and then it's like a straight road, if that makes sense. So it kind of comes like a T. I was going this way. They were coming here, and then they were turning when I was leaving to when I was coming home from work. So like I was coming this way, and they just like sped around the corner, didn't stop. We almost collided. We didn't, like I said. But now just coming back from the gym, same shit happened. Different person, and they didn't come as aggressively around the corner. But again, I was going this way. They came up and they almost didn't stop. And then they saw me and they stopped a lot sooner. So it was fine. Like I didn't have to stop. I was able to just go through. But same thing, they abruptly hit their brakes. I don't know what's going on. I don't. I don't know. I think people forgot how to drive and who has right of way. But what do you do? Didn't get in a crash. It's all fine. It's just like, what the heck's going on? Twice in one day? That's crazy. That like never happens. Like sometimes that happens. Like people like, I don't know. It's like people are confused or just not paying attention or whatever. But like never twice in one day, and never this aggressively. Usually it's like they kind of are like slowly rolling and then like stop. It's not like they're coming up to it and they're like, oh, slam on their brake type of thing. I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, so today's lift went pretty decent, but I'm not gonna. Oh, way overshot my rice. But I'm not gonna lie. Something just, I don't know what it was. Something just kind of felt slightly off. Like just something. Oh my gosh. Take just a few more. This is prep for you, bro. If you got it on the scale, you might as well measure it out to the T of what you're supposed to get. Anyways, something just kind of felt off. Some of my movements felt really good early on, but then later in the lift, it just like my strength felt like it was dwindling. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was that lack of energy like I was talking about. Some days are just like that. You know, you can't have, every day can't be a banger. So you're going to have some kind of off days, some days that don't feel as good. Even my posing after my gym session, I posed and did some like check-in pictures, post-workout, like pumped up check-ins for coach. And some of my poses just, I feel like I just wasn't hitting them right. And I couldn't figure out why. So just a weird day in general. And that'll happen. I'm not going to overthink it, not going to let myself stress out about it too much, because obviously stress does not do great things for the physique. It can make you hold water. It can reduce recovery, all that fun stuff. So I'm not going to stress it too much. If it becomes a trend and we have some issues, multiple workouts in a row, if my posing is just like, I just can't get it for a while, then it's time for some concern. Then we'll reassess some things. But if it's a one-off workout where just it didn't feel quite right, and for some reason posing just wasn't clicking tonight, that happens. That's why we practice posing every day. And then with training, I mean, you're going to have some days where it just feels off. Who knows what it was? I mean, there's a whole bunch of circumstances that could go into it. Maybe I was underhydrated. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep tonight. Maybe something at work stressed me out. Even if I didn't like consciously realize it, maybe I do have a little bit of elevated stress. Maybe that almost getting in a crash elevated my cortisol, my stress, and just things can just, there's variables you can't control. But the thing with prep is you want to try to control all of the variables you can and make sure everything is as dialed as possible. But anyways, with all that said, that's all I got for you guys. I got to go get some steps, eat this last meal. I still got to shower. I stink like ass, and I haven't showered since the gym, so I got to go hop in the shower. Anyways, that is all I got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you want to, drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Otherwise, I post every single Monday. If you want to keep up with the prep, Tune back in on Monday, and I'll catch you then. All right, peace, y'all.